Hey YouTube, how's it going? This is here in my office 19. I just like to make sure this is recording here in my office. And we're good to go. So last video I talked about having to go to New York City for an interview. The interview, they called it the first round. Maybe they start rounds when you're on site, but I've already had discussions with this company. Two phone interviews and now an in-person interview. So the next time I talk to them, it'll be the fourth time. So it is kind of a long road, but I was thrown for a bit of a loop. So I flew out to New York City last night right after the snowstorm, and I made it. And when I got to New York, I got an email saying that they wanted to change up the schedule a little bit, which was fine. My interviews I was supposed to have 3 one-on-one interviews on site in New York City in Lower Manhattan, right across from the World Trade Center, actually. But what ended up happening was I got on site, and they I guess the 3 people that were supposed to interview with me got pulled into something else, or something happened. So I ended up meeting with 2 other people that I believe they're from the audit department. I just did my spiel. I did my own thing, and I went through my experience and did the interview. But afterwards, I kind of just said, I hope that we can move forward, and we can meet with the other people if we need to. And they were cognizant of the fact that I'm not native to New York City, and I had to fly out from Buffalo, and it was, basically, a whole day of running around for what ended up being about a 40-minute interview. And it went really well. I had answers to all their questions. They seemed really impressed by my resume. They were happy. They were smiling. It was a good atmosphere. So I'm thinking that company is still the front runner, and that's the company that would require me to go out to Salt Lake City, Utah. And I found out that they're just building out an office in Salt Lake City. They already have an office in Salt Lake City with thousands of people in it, but in terms of internal audit, it would be something new. So I would be kind of at the ground floor of that, which is kind of exciting. So that went well. And now I'm in these interviews, I'm being asked about other companies I'm interviewing at. So I did tell them about the other companies that have interest in me and that I've had a few calls with, and I'm waiting to hear back on, just so they know what's going on. So if you're interviewing multiple places like I am, it is a good idea, and I think it keeps them aware that you're kind of, time is of the essence, and you're kind of in a hurry just to get an offer on the table, because I'd hate to miss out on an opportunity because they were just too slow processing paper or something like that. So I just told them, I said, hey, yeah, this is who else I'm interviewing with, and this is the status of those interviews. And they took that information, and that was good. One nice surprise was I ended up flying out to New York on my own dime. I had one night in a hotel, and there was food. So the whole trip probably cost me about $400, and they did send me the form to submit for reimbursement of the costs that I incurred, which is a good sign, right? So if they're committing to spending, $300 on me, $400 on me, that tells me that's, hopefully I'm one of the stronger candidates, or maybe the only candidate at this level. I don't know. So we're just going to see what happens. So that's what's going on, guys. I've still been actively applying. I last applied to a company a couple days ago. Can't even remember what company that was. I guess I'll know if they get back to me. So if things quiet down, that's the plan. I'm going to keep on keeping on. There's a lot of global internal audit departments, a lot of banks that employ internal auditors, and then I could even explore outside of internal audit and look into just general risk management, something in the second line of defense, as they call it. So yeah, guys. Once the offer comes through, when I finally do get something on the table, which I'm feeling like it's going to happen sooner rather than later, maybe in the next couple weeks, maybe next week. maybe even, I don't know. But I'm guessing that the company in New York will want me to come at least interview one more time. I don't know if they're going to require me to come out to New York again, considering they kind of fumbled the ball a little bit because I didn't get to meet any of the individuals on the team that I was supposed to meet. Um, but as a matter of fact, I think the person who I did meet might have been a higher ranking person than they were, so that's good. So as long as they could put in the good word for me and maybe say, hey, he's ready to go. Maybe fingers crossed, maybe an offer will come through after this. But then we go into the whole thing about relocating to Salt Lake City, and I guess I would have to go to Salt Lake, put my house up for sale here in Buffalo. My wife would have to stay here while we try to sell this house, and hopefully sell it for a profit. I'm not going to get screwed on this deal. I bought this house for $527,000, and I just put in a $20,000 closet, so $550,000 is kind of the minimum that I would go for. I think I'd probably list this at $600, but it's still one of the cheapest houses on the street. I mean, I could list it at $700, and I don't think it would be that out of the ballpark. So that it just brings a whole another complication. Well, one thing they asked me too, they said, have I been targeting any particular geographical areas? And I just said, no, I've been targeting companies, and wherever they may be, such as Salt Lake City in this case, then that's kind of where I got to go. I said I'm mobile. I said it's a nationwide job search, so I'm ready. I'm ready when they are. I'll go. So you gotta be mobile, guys. You're gonna get a lot of if you just limit yourself to your own city, unless you live in New York City or Chicago or a big city, you're gonna be really limiting yourself to the opportunities that you're gonna have. I think it goes to show why a lot of executives that they move a lot of big houses. They go big semi trucks come in, move these guys. They move all over the place, and I guess I'll be if I go to Salt Lake, I'll be one of those guys. And so I'm pretty excited, and I'm positive that I'm going to hear back some good news. And once I do, or once I hear any news for that matter, I'll upload another video. This is here in my office 19. I'll go for a 20th, and then there's still companies that haven't really heard from. So that I've been in contact with for a first round interview. So we're just going to stay hopeful. And if you want to understand a little bit more about my career, I'm an internal auditor. If you want to understand about what I've done in my career, where I've come from, where I'm going, just check out the rest of the videos in the series here in my office. I recommend you could start at number 1. These are good videos for people who are actively searching for jobs, and also for college students trying to select a major and wanting to know what can you do with a finance major and with an MBA in finance. And I'm taking you through my journey on what I'm doing. So guys, if you like this video, please like this video and consider subscribing to my channel. We got a lot of other exciting information on my house, cars, art, other things like that. And if you want to check me out on Instagram, it's #AnthonyRon82. That's on Instagram. So guys, check out the other videos here. I'm pointing to it. Should work at the end of this video. Starting with the other here in my office series. And have a good day, guys. Thanks.